Hey guys, Jeff Kamke here with Wealth Energetics. Today I want to talk about why the wealthy don't need to meditate and why they don't need to release subconscious blocks, but you probably do to go up levels financially and to build real wealth in your life. So you got to think about if you were born into a wealthy family and from the day you were born, you had the nicest stroller, you had the nicest car seat, you didn't have anything other than that. You only had luxury. That's all you knew. You rolled around in a Rolls Royce. That's what your parents drove. And you grew up living in a 5 or 8,000 square foot home. And that's just the type of lifestyle you grew up in. You wouldn't know any different. And the type of thoughts that you would have, the beliefs that get ingrained, your observations of life and how it works are all from a wealth perspective. Most of us don't grow up in that. Most of us grow up in almost the opposite. We witness our parents struggling around money and maybe having arguments in their marriage over money. And maybe there's distress over money. Maybe there was a parent that lost a job and had a heart attack, right? These are the things that most of us grow up seeing. And if, like me, you have the desire on your heart to go up and increase income, to make wealth for your family, and get rid of the mediocrity that's been there generationally, where you're just living paycheck to paycheck and just getting by, and that's not in alignment with who you are, who God made you to be, then this is the importance of why we need to do the inner work, right? Because the wealthy don't necessarily need to do all that inner work. They already have basically a wealth blueprint. Their brain already thinks wealthy thoughts. They already have wealthy habits. Their vibration and energy field is already aligned and attuned to that of abundance and wealth. They know how to communicate, right? They grow up in a household where I'm sure there's good communication and negotiation, and they hear their dad on sales calls. They maybe have the board of directors over at their house, right, of their dad's business or maybe the family business, right? They hang around those kind of people. So that way of thinking, that way of talking, and that way of being is just naturally a part of who they are. And for most of us, we don't have that natural, I'll call it a reflex. It's almost like hitting your kneecap when you go to the doctor's office, right? The reflex for them is wealth and abundance. That's all they know, and that's almost all they're programmed to create in life. Whereas most of us are the exact opposite. We don't know any different. We are just here to create what generationally has been done before us and what we are programmed to think and programmed to do, which is for a lot of us, it's mediocrity, it's financial stress, it's trying to get over the hump and you just can't get it. You can't get out of your own way, maybe. And that's the struggle. And so if you find yourself in that position, and I've been there plenty of times, right, as we have navigated this wealth journey, I don't have it all figured out. We're still doing a lot of this stuff right now. But it's realizing that if you didn't grow up with the right beliefs and you didn't grow up with the right observations and in the right consciousness around money, you have to change that. And the cool part is it is changeable. It's changeable for everybody that wants to do it and has the desire to take the steps that are available to us to do it. Neuroscience has proved over and over and over again. Quantum physics proves that we can make the changes in our life that we want to. We have power over our brain, whether we feel like we do or not. And if you don't feel like that right now, start taking steps that maybe move the needle a little bit for you, that you increases your belief a little bit. Start listening to more books and audios and being around more successful people, and that will start influencing how you think to be able to make those changes, right? But if you're already doing really well, you can obviously do even better, right? If you're already making six figures, well, why aren't you making seven? Why aren't you making eight? Well, it's because of here. You still have beliefs that are keeping you where you're at, and you have the ability to change those things. So you can do it through a lot of methods. There's a lot of components that need to go into it, right? You need to know what to do differently, right? You have to have education. You have to be learning higher levels of education. You might need to be learning from, Russell Brunson and the material he has around how to do webinars and how to do funnels and all those kind of things. Maybe you need to learn sales and persuasion from somebody like Grant Cardone, right? To be able to navigate the sales process better and be able to ask better questions and overcome objections and be able to do that. Maybe it's that. Maybe you need to learn how in your chiropractic clinic, maybe you need to learn how to bring in an associate and not do everything yourself and bring in other services, right? Maybe bring in ozone therapy, or maybe you bring in, stem cell therapy, or there's all these different things you could bring in, right, that could scale your business, create more income, create more revenue, create more abundance in your life. But to do those things, you have to learn about them, right? But then once you learn new things, you obviously have to be able to integrate that into your life. take the appropriate action, be consistent with it, be disciplined, be motivated. And sometimes that's where we get hung up and we need to do the inner work and figure out, okay, why am I hitting this stumbling block? Why am I not advancing it the way I need to? That's where we need to do the deeper inner work and figure out, okay, what patterns subconsciously are driving this block, this ability to not take a step forward. And maybe it's I can't start a project, or maybe I've got 10 ideas going and they're all kind of up in the air, right? I'm not really focused on any of them. Or maybe it's that I get 90% done with something and then it just sits and then there's nothing completed, right? Those are kind of the three main ways that it happens. And if you fall into any of those, right, you can figure out what is the pattern, what is the frequency, what is the emotion driving that pattern. And there's a lot of great ways with bioenergetics that we teach on how to overcome that. And sometimes it's working one-on-one, doing remote sessions. Sometimes it's just teaching a couple techniques that you can begin doing on your own, gaining self-awareness of your body and your thoughts and your emotions and how it feels and where do you feel it, and doing some specific breathing techniques to help release that. Then you can move forward. Then what you've learned and absorbed of what to do, now you can begin actually doing it and staying consistent with it and being on track. That is a powerful thing to be able to do. So I would encourage you to figure out, if you don't already have a success routine in the morning and in at night, and make it a part of your lifestyle, so that if you didn't grow up in the wealthy families and you do need to do some of these corrective things for a period of time to get yourself where you want to go, make it a part of your daily lifestyle. And if you need those resources, comment below. I'll be happy to share. I'll be doing more videos in the future on resources around what to do, where to go, who are the right experts to do, because I've spent literally my entire lifetime sifting and sorting, figuring out what techniques work the best, where do you use them, how do you use them, depending on who you are and your vibration, which technique might be better for you, right? And the way you think about things. And we'll be sharing a lot of that information because it's very important to know. It's another subculture almost of the personal development world, of all the different techniques and all the different ways to handle, emotions and blockages and energy, what ones work, which ones don't, which ones are the most efficient. Those are some of the things that I want to be sharing with you here in the future. So if you need help with that, though, like I said, comment below. If you found value in this video, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you're alerted to when we produce new videos on this channel. And if this made an impact for you, this is a message you needed to hear, and just click a few things in your mind of like, oh yeah, no wonder I'm not getting where I want to go. I didn't observe all the wealth around me growing up. So I do need to do more of this stuff. I do need to do more of the inner work. And if you've been at the inner work game for a while and you're not making the strides that you need to, reach out to me, because we've got the tools to help you overcome those types of issues, get over the hump, find the missing pieces that have been missed by maybe other energy workers or other modalities to get you to where you want to go, because there is a specifically stored frequency that you have that we know how to find and update subconsciously so that you can begin to move forward in your life. So again, if you found value in this, though, please share it with some friends, share it with a family member, share it with a colleague. Make this information spread so that we can help more people achieve abundance and wealth in their life. So thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you guys soon. Take care.